So how did the Maiden of the Fun World EP go then, Bob? Well, first attempt not great, and as one of the guys said at the flying field, it's matchbox balsa. Anyway, eventually it did fly, moderately successfully, and here's an update on a few changes I've made since, and hopefully next test flight will be more successful. Right then, so what changes have I made to my Fun World EP? Or I'm thinking maybe I should call it a not so much Fun World EP, after the engine mount exploded before I'd even tried to fly it, and after that maiden flight, which was kind of okay-ish, apart from the fact that the undercarriage ripped off with a very soft landing in the scrub, and the fact that it kept swooping really high and was very, very twitchy. So what changes have I made? Well, first off, obviously I had to rebuild the matchbox wood really pathetic mount that the undercarriage was on, because a soft landing in scrub and it just came off. So I'll show you what I've done here. I have much reinforced it. A couple of popsicle sticks epoxied in here, both sides. Epoxied in there, both sides. A decent bit of ply across there to brace that. Decent piece of wood here for the undercarriage to mount on, and then finally, once that's actually gone off, which it's doing at the moment, this original piece can sit like that, and it should be a good deal stronger. So a while later, this is where we're at. This is strongly mounted now. We've got some other reinforcement here with a couple of popsicle sticks, as Josh Bixler calls them. Got one glued across there, one glued across there. We've got a decent piece of solid ply across there, which I showed you before. And as you'll see here, I've done away with two of the clips that were holding this, so that it's now got one, plus barbecue stick across there, and it will now be secured like so, so that in the event of a hard landing, this is just going to fold back, which I think is pretty good. Fold back or the barbecue sticker break. Plus, as you saw on the takeoff roll, didn't go very well with those tiny little wheels. So I've got a couple of decent wheels on it, which should roll. So that should make taking off more easy. The other problem I had was, and if you look at some of the videos, it was tending to swoop upwards, even though I'd used the recommended centre of gravity, which is here, which I think is 90mm, yeah, 90mm. And despite the manual showing the battery being located there, the reality of the story is, to achieve that centre of gravity, you actually have to have the battery, 2100 milliamp 3S, located right down here, which is very inconvenient. As you can see, I can't even get the blooming thing in now. Try again. So the possibility of merely sliding it forward, can't even get it in. So the possibility of actually sliding it further in is pretty much out of the question. As it is, I've had to put a little foam board bulkhead there to stop it actually going any further, because we've got receiver here, speed controller here. Couldn't easily install them here, and I wanted to keep the weight of those forward. So a solution I came up with was 20 grams of lead in the nose, and now with the addition of the bigger wheels, instead of it being 90, it's actually 80mm. I think that's right anyway. I'll put it on the screen. So that should be a great improvement. The other thing was, which I think contributed to the fact that it was so swoopy, was there was absolutely zero down thrust on the motor. So I put a little shim underneath the mount at the back there, so it now has a bit of down thrust as well as right thrust. And I think the combination of changing the CG plus the down thrust should make this a bit easier to handle. I was quite pleased with my solution to installing the little covers here. Instead of putting rubber bands around, which I usually do, it's a question of spare servo thingy there, makes a nice little catch there, And likewise on this one, there were a couple of clips included in the kit that I wasn't quite sure what they were, so they've gone on there to actually hold the back end of that. So all in all, I'm hopeful that flight test number 2 is going to be more successful. Oh, the other thing I've done is, if you look at the size of the stab, the elevator is pretty much the same size as the fixed part here, and the recommended throws were about 20mm. I've reduced those to 10mm and given it a bit more expo. Likewise with the very large ailerons. So I'm hoping that changing CG, changing throws, bit of down thrust should make this a bit easier to handle for flight test number 2. But you do have to laugh when AliExpress advertise this as a trainer, when in fact it's actually an aerobatic model. But all the same, that's Chinese distributors for you. But anyway, so that's the story so far. If you're enjoying my little saga here of the Fun World EP, please give it a like, helps my algorithms. And if you want to see whether test flight 2 is successful, why not hit subscribe down there, and please check out some of the other vids on my channel. There are a couple of vids on this, one about repairing the mount. I'll link the Maiden at the end, and quite a few, obviously a lot of flying stuff on my channel. Particularly I've done a lot of conversions of those cheap foamy little chuck gliders, in fact 15 of the big ones, so might be fun to check out those. But that's all for now. Thanks for watching. Oh, whoa, it's trying to go without me. Thanks for watching. Hopefully I'll catch you again soon. I think it's got a bit of a jinx, so we're going to have to be careful with this one. Right, well I'll see you later then folks. And as I say, thanks for watching. Bye for now.